Hello everyone, how's it going? In this video, we're going to look into this company called SGOCO Group, ticker symbol SGOC. Well, it's one of the most trending and most spoken about stocks. Well, because it ran about 600% in one day. And as of this morning, it's still running up close to about 40% in the pre-market hours. It's sitting at a market cap of about only a little bit less than $1 billion. But let's see what this company is all about. So if you look into their company profile, it talks about being a conglomerate of various businesses which are into environmental protection, money lending, property investments, and a couple of other companies. So right away reading into this company, it reminded me of what Mohnish Pobrai mentioned about this company called Naspers. So just to give you a brief background, Naspers is a South African publishing house. It runs some magazines and newspapers. So they invested about 34 million quite a bit of years ago into this company called Tencent Holdings. And right then, they only invested about 34 million to acquire about 43% of the business. Imagine 34 million for a 43% stake in Tencent Holdings. Right now, this company has almost $1 trillion market cap, about I think 900 or $1 trillion, and their holding ran up to about $200 billion. So that 34 million, which these guys, the two brothers of the other South African company who invested into Tencent, now they're raking up about $200 billion. So that's something interesting. So that, I mean, back in the mind, it started to think whether or not is this something that's going on with SGOCO Group as well. Now let's get into this company, try to understand. One of the things that stood out to me was on May 20th, 2021, SGOCO announced the receipt of a deficiency letter from NASDAQ. Basically, what happened is they delayed their annual filing for the year 2020. So they received this non-compliance letter from NASDAQ, notifying that the company is no longer in compliance with the NASDAQ listing for continued listing due to its failure to timely file its annual report on Form 20F for the year ended December 30, 31 or 2020. So this is an alarming news, especially for a company with that market cap. So on July 7th, 2021, they basically had 60 days to file their annual report. So they took their time, and on July 7th, so very recently, they came out with this particular annual report, the 20F filing with the SEC. And if you look into those SEC filing, there are some interesting things that's happening. So they are investing quite a bit. They've been buying and selling companies like crazy. Let me go to the right top of the company, and you'll see these sections where the company is buying and selling companies like crazy. Now they have a couple of businesses that they're already invested in. So March 2010, they're talking about another exchange. On November 11th, they sold the Apex or the ownership interest in Honesty Group. Then 2014, they sold the ownership interest in SGOCO or Fujian. And then December 15th, 2015, they bought the SGOCO International Limited, or this thing. And then 2017, they had another share of sale purchase agreement with full linkage for buying Century Skyway Limited. And if you go on reading this, 2017, 2018, 2019, they've been investing into a couple of businesses. And very recently, back in 2020, they bought a couple of other companies, one of them being the application programming interface company, AppyGrow. So AppyGrow, now this is something which they bought very recently on September 28, 2020. And this was only disclosed on July 7th. If you look into their website, it hardly has any information on it. If you look into the press releases, the last release was on May 20, 2021. There's no news about the annual report that they filed. Nothing much uploaded up here. So the website is, even if you look into the annual report back there, it only shows the 2015 report. However, you saw they already have the 2020 report up. So if you're looking at the financial results, nothing much posted here. The annual report, and there's the last financial results shows going back to 2030, and a shareholder services meeting. It shows back the last meeting was held on 2013, and this seems to be an image which is yet to be updated. So there is quite a bit of back lag going on their website. But the most interesting and the most exciting aspect about this business is the shares held by all insiders. They have more than 50%, about 70% of the business is held by the owners of the company. That's the most interesting. They have a very few institutions holding it, and I think only nine institutions, which is less than almost 1% of the company value. But the 70% is what's held by insiders, and that's the most exciting thing. Charlie Munger said, "Show me the show me the incentive, and I'll show you the outcome." So when it's an owner-operated business, they know what they're doing and they believe in the company. The company is like their baby, and they take very much careful about the company. So that's the most interesting aspect. And I'm going to do this homework and understand and read all these companies that they're owning, what are they into, and how valuable these are, and how interesting it is. So it's a company which definitely requires some research and understanding. And the price that is happening here, there's no news, there's no information that came out. It's just that the volume suddenly increased. It does have a very low float, and that you can tell because all the shares are almost held by the insiders, so there is very low float out in the market for people to buy. So that's also helping up with the price increase. But yeah, be careful. It happened very rapidly. Things that go up very fast, you have a tendency to come down very fast also. So be careful of what you're doing with it. This is not financial advice. Just want to share this information with you. With that, take care, stay safe. Bye-bye.